Okay, so let us begin with today's session. Education. What, why, how. So in this session, I am going to discuss about the three fundamental aspects or three fundamental questions regarding education. What is education? Why education? And how education? So these three are related to three major concepts, such as our perception about education, what we perceive about education. What is education means what we actually perceive about, our concept. And why? Why education? So why education deals with our vision. What is our vision to education? What we think about education? What is our purpose of education? And how? How means the action for education, various activities, practices for education. So today we are going to discuss three basic or fundamental aspects of education, or we try to answer the fundamental questions. So the first question, what is education? So what is education? So anything we can explain in two dimensions, in a narrow dimension and a wider dimension. Anything. So a narrow dimension means a literal meaning of the concept or a literal meaning of the term. Here education. So in literal sense or in basic sense or narrow sense, education is a profession, you say, or education is a discipline, or education as a subject of study. These are something very basic, very narrow sense explanation for education. Education as a discipline, education as a subject, or education as a profession. Likewise. Or we can say education as a process, because the process of educating is an activity which comprises of various elements. So education can be a process. Or we can say education as product. Especially in our system, in Indian system, we consider education as a product oriented education. All our programs and courses are directed towards some kind of certification. So that certificate is the product. A first class in B.Ed or a distinction in science, that's a product. So all programs are directed towards achieving certain end product. So in that sense we can say education as product oriented. And there are different categories of courses and programs. What is the difference between course and program? In earlier times, the nomenclature is like that: M.Ed course, B.Ed course, undergraduate course, postgraduate course, etc. And now that course is replaced by program, M.Ed program, B.Ed program, postgraduate programs, undergraduate programs. Not much difference, only difference in the title, that's all. So the term course is replaced by program. And naturally courses are there. Within the program there are a set of courses. So in this particular Master of Education program, you are having 4 different courses in the first semester. A course on philosophy, course on psychology, then a course on research and statistics and trends in education. So these are different courses in semester 1. And similarly there are set of courses in semester 2. And likewise in each and every program there shall be set of courses. So courses and program, what is education? What you are studying now? I am studying for this particular program. That is our answer for the time being. So all these things are narrow sense meaning of education. What is education? It's a very restricted answer. And in a wider sense, education is a vision. It is a vision. It is a vision of the nation. It is a vision of the world. That is why United Nations formulate a set of 17 goals, Sustainable Development Goals. You might have heard about that, SDG. And before that there are Millennium Development Goals. So there is a vision at international level about education. The vision universal compulsory education, or the slogan education for all. So that's the vision. Education should not be restricted by means of gender, age, race, economy, geography, etc. It should be open to all. So on the basis of that vision, you might have heard about open education. Nowadays, the era of pandemic, we are familiar with open education. There are so many courses and so many programs available freely over the internet. And at the same time, there are programs which we have to pay some amount of money, just like our programs. And that concept of open education, an open encyclopedia. Which is that open encyclopedia? Wikipedia. This is the concept of open encyclopedia. It destroys all other encyclopedias till that date of the invention of this particular joint venture, Wikipedia, contributed by millions and billions all over the world. So that's the vision. That's a wider meaning of education. Education shall be provided to all. So education is humanity. That is humanity. We are always saying about humanity. Humanity differentiates human beings from other living beings. So provide opportunity to all for getting educated. So that is humanity. That is the vision of education. So in wider sense, we can say education as humanity. It is for international aim. It is for national aim. Not for getting a degree. Not for getting a certificate. That's only literal meaning or personal, individualistic. But a wider meaning or wider sense, answer for education is that it is for the society. It is the conversion of Homo sapiens to human beings. So that is what is education. So the second question, why education? So the rationale for education, the reason why we are starting so much educational institutions. Is it necessary? Is education necessary? What kind of education is required? Why education is required? These are different questions. For that particular question also we have a narrow sense, narrow meaning answer. Education for literacy. What is literacy? Literacy means acquisition of the ability of 3 R's, isn't it? Which are the 3 R's? Reading, writing, reckoning. RECKONING. Not arithmetic. Arithmetic means mathematics. It's not mathematic. It's for counting. Ability to count. So the acquisition of 3 R's. That is the very narrow answer for why education. To acquire literacy, to become literate. And another answer we can say, why education? Because I need to acquire certain qualifications. I need to obtain certain degrees, certificates. I want to be a professional. So in order to become a professional, I need to be educated. So naturally there will be a question will arise that what is a profession? That we can discuss later. So to acquire certain qualification, that is one reason of some people. Then education for skill development. Nowadays education is more concentrated towards development of skills, because there are severe shortage of skilled employees all over the world. There are qualified persons with degree certificates, but there is scarcity of persons with required skills. That's a severe problem. It's a very serious problem because it affects the quality of the work. Only a skilled person can be able to perform in a better manner. So skill development is highly essential. So on the basis that UGC issued a document, Learning Outcome Based Education or Outcome Based Education, OBE. So for education people, we are very familiar with outcome based education. So naturally we misinterpret this outcome based education as with that of Bloom's taxonomy of objectives. Of course, it is the basis. You know the Bloom's taxonomy of instructional objectives. 3 domains of knowledge. Cognitive, affective, psychomotor, which is the most important domain. It is cognitive, affective or psychomotor. Of course, it is the affective domain, because the affective domain alone is able to bring up certain positive behavioral changes. Cognitive domain is only a pathway, is only a vehicle towards affective changes, emotional changes, behavioral changes. Behavioral changes itself means that changes in affective domain. So that, of course, that Bloom's taxonomy, of course, is the basis for this outcome-based education. But more than that, the UGC proposal of OBE is specified on skill development. For each job, there shall be specific set of skills. For each course and each program, a learner have to successfully acquire specific set of skills. So that's very important. So education is going towards outcome based, means skill based. People should be more skilled. In the field of teaching also, the teaching process is gradually diminishing, especially by the onset of this pandemic. There is a paradigm shift from teaching to learning, because the learning becomes the responsibility of the learner. Education becomes the responsibility of the learner. The work usually done by teachers has been revolutionized or changing. Teachers have to do some other activities. Teachers have to do familiar with learning management systems, and they have to learn about how to prepare interactive content. So teachers have to be skilled in that area. How to conduct evaluation online, how to assess students effectively, how to provide appropriate feedback to them. So all these are newly developing skills in teaching. So that skill development, outcome based education is becoming significant day by day. Then in wider sense, why education? Education for development. You know, all-round development of human personality. Okay, this is said to be one of the fundamental aims of education. So that all-round development, that is the wider rationale for education. Education for all-round development of all human beings, not a few, but of all. Then education for socialization. So what is socialization? If there is true education in a society, there will be no discrimination. There will be no discrimination on the basis of gender, caste, religion, economy, job, etc. But of course we are in a democratic country, the vision of democracy says that all citizens are equal. But it is not like that. It is only in saying. There, of course, is a hierarchy. There are top level, then middle levels, authorities everywhere, and everything is since in the form of downward filtration, isn't it? The same British principle is still under rule in our country. Everything comes from the top. Somebody get something. So the true education stands for socialization, equality in society, to remove discriminations, disparities. Then it is a humanizing process. As I said earlier, evolution of Homo sapiens. Homo sapiens, you know, the scientific name for the present human species. It's an animal species, Homo sapiens. And to convert us into human beings, animals with humanity. That's the difference. So what is the basic difference between other animals and humans? Usually we say that we are having the power of thinking and imagination, creativity, etc. Nothing like that. It is the ability to smile. ചിരിക്കാനുള്ള കഴിവാണ്. അങ്ങനെയാണ് നമ്മൾ എന്താവുന്നത്, ഹ്യൂമാനിറ്റി ഉണ്ടാവുന്നത്. ടു സ്മൈൽ. So that's the differentiating factor between human beings and other beings. Because even flies are thinking about how to escape from us. They know very well. The very micropathogen corona, COVID-19. We are so powerful, but we can do nothing. So every being has the power of thinking and feeling, etc. It's not that, but some other. So in essence, we can say education for the answer for the question, why education? There are 3 E's. Education for efficiency, education for empowerment, and education for enlightenment. So we can summarize that answer for why to education. Education to increase efficiency of the individual, capacity of the individual. Make them perfect, make them more and more developed, more and more skilled, and empower them, make them aware about something and act accordingly. That is empowerment. To develop awareness about something, that's the first step. And once we are aware about something, we shall have the capacity to practice it in the daily life. Then only we can say that we are empowered. Otherwise, there is no empowerment, only awareness. So we know that, but we are not practicing. We know that it is essential to put our mask properly. But many of us are not empowered about that because they are not wearing it properly. So enlightenment, it is the highest stage. By education, some people, not all, some people reach up to the level of enlightenment. Such citizen, they are always in search for doing something for the society. They are always aware of their duties rather than their rights. Usually we are very particular about our rights. We are simply forgetting about our duties. But once the education help to enlighten their citizens, those citizens will be more conscious about their duties, not for their rights. So that's the answer for the second question. Why education? Then question number 3. How education? So the action, the activities, practices, programs, courses. So for this particular question, how to educate, we can classify the entire education system into 3. You might have heard about that. Informal system of education, formal system of education, and a non-formal system of education. So these are the 3 categories, 3 systems through which all of us are being educated. Informal, formal, and non-formal. What is informal? Informal means not formal, incidental. It happens so. It is not planned. Many crucial things in our life we learn incidentally, not in any formal setting, not within the classroom. It is happens so in our life, incidentally, with the innumerable interactions with our friends and enemies, whoever it is. So that is natural, it's a natural process. We cannot plan it. It is purely unplanned. Such kind of education is informal system of education. And the second category, the prominent system of education is formal system of education, formal education. That is what we are practicing. There are specific kinds of institution, varieties and levels of institution. What are the new levels of institution proposed in the current NEP, National Education Policy 2020? Have you heard about that? So what are the levels for school education? This is a 5+3+3+4 system. So that's a new proposal, new change against 10+2+3. The existing pattern is 10+2+3. But the coming pattern is 5+3+3+4. So such kind of programs are there. And the undergraduate programs going to be, all programs going to be, including teacher education, multidisciplinary programs, not unitary programs. Programs with multiple specialization. Programs provide opportunity to opt out after first year, second year or third year, or you can continue to a fourth year for honors degree. And by completing a 4-year degree, you can directly go for PhD. That's another change that is going to happen in the near future. So all these things are within the formal system of education. There are specific rules and regulations for admission, rules and regulations for conduct of classes, rules and regulations for assessment, award of degree, everything is there. That's a formal system. It is entirely formal, very detailed plan of action. And the third category, non-formal system of education. So what is the difference between formal system and non-formal system? Non-formal system is also a type of system with set of formalities, not like informal system. There are specific regulations, commonly called as the distance education or the adult education programs outside the formal age level of learners. In formal education, we are having an age of school level education or up to undergraduate education or to postgraduate education. So this non-formal system of education mainly focused on dropouts from the formal system. Many dropped out from the system of formal system because they are not able to physically present in the classroom, or they are not able to attend the entire courses or programs. So the non-formal system is meant for those people who are interested in continue their learning. So that's why this non-formal system. There are separate departments, there are separate institutions, regulations, examinations, certifications, everything in this non-formal system of education also. You might have heard about the equivalency examination for adults, 10th level, 12th level, etc. All these come under this non-formal system of education. So these are the three broad category of education, which is an answer for how to educate. And in wider sense, we can think about it more seriously, how this education process shall happen. The education shall be interactive in nature. What is meant by interactive? Interaction with whom? There are different kinds of interactions. Interaction with teacher and learners. Interaction in between learners. And the most important interaction is interaction of learner with the learning material. That is the most important interaction. So the content of the future shall be learner interactive in nature. When we are going through a learning material, we have to interact with it. The videos in the future, even now it is there. If you are watching a video, after 1 or 2 minutes, there will be a question. And only by answering that question, you can proceed further. And that type of content is coming in future. So such kind of interaction by which the learner shall be fully involved in the learning material, not with the teacher or not with the learner. This interaction with the content will be the most important aspect. Then learning shall be functional. There is no meaning in acquiring the 3 R's, reading, writing and reckoning, unless we make use of this ability for the welfare of the society. Only by providing adequate contributions. That's why we are being educated, to contribute for the benefit of the society. So use this ability, use this literacy for something beneficial for the society. Then only it becomes functional. Then education is continuous, lifelong. It's a lifelong process. We cannot stop it by some 10, 15 or 20 years. It is not linked with some degrees and all, but it is essential for the successful survival, not only survival, but sustainability of this beautiful planet. So that's the spirit, sustainability of the planet. So our education should be in that direction. That's the answer for how to educate. So that's all about this